Bruh, Oda is such a troll. How is Buggy one of the 4 emperors of the sea, man? One Piece chapter 1053. I was hyped to see all those bounties, but getting the news that Buggy is one of the 4 emperors of the sea, that completely took me out, man. Like, I'm not expecting to see something like that. Like, I was joking that, like, oh yeah, Buggy's gonna be one of the 4 emperors. Like, okay, now this gets confirmed, and like, now I'm legit wondering if when Luffy does find the One Piece, if like Buggy isn't gonna get the credit for being the new king of the pirates or something like that. It'd be ironic if Buggy ends up getting killed because of that. But like, Buggy at this point has to be a running gag. Like, there's no excuse for that. So with my initial thoughts out of the way, let's hold up and back up for a second, and let's get into the recap portion of the review. So the chapter opens up with us getting the news of what's being said from the perspective of the world government. And the reason why is because they realize that the updated bounties have gone out, and they're immediately saying like, hey, this is not right. We got to reprint these. These cannot go out to the public in the way that they are. And unbeknownst to the world government, they're learning that it doesn't matter how corrupt a reporter is. At the end of the day, a reporter still has a duty to get the real news out to the public, and that's exactly what's going on here. And he's saying like, hey, I'm not going to manipulate the narrative at this moment. Moments like these where the world is in flux, it needs to get the real facts out there to the people. And we got this man just laughing up a storm as a result, and we see all of the reactions of everyone across the world as they learn that Kaido and Big Mom, they've been defeated. And we get the bounties of Kid and Law and Luffy. All of them have a 3 billion berry bounty each. And in particular, they have Luffy in his Gear 5 transformation. So I think that really when you look at that, that's part of the reason why they wanted to get Luffy a brand new photo. And they specifically wanted to have Luffy's D taken off of his name. But if I'm not mistaken, Luffy's name and all the other bounty posters that we've had has always said Monkey D. Luffy. So I'm kind of curious as if this might be a situation where they want to try and rewrite history a little bit to try and phase people out of associating the D with his name now that he's actually a threat to them. Meanwhile, you have Jinbei, and he's sitting in that hall where there should have been a feast for all the people who were a part of that Straw Hat Alliance that took down Kaido and his men. Jinbei is the only one who's actually showing up for it. The rest of them apparently couldn't wait. And we get this ruckus that takes place outside where you see everyone celebrating, Luffy stuff in his mouth. Everything's free. Games are free. Food's free. Water's free. Everyone's enjoying the celebrations. You got Brook up there performing his music. You got Hiyori, got people simping for her. However, Nico Robin, all jokes aside, given the fact that I trolled Nico Robin is getting right down to business. She's looking at the doll collection that's underneath, but she's also trying to, most importantly, get the information on the poneglyph that's over there. And as she speaks with Tengu, she learns that Tengu is actually Momo's grandfather. And when Robin asks, do the rest of them even know that you're actually still alive? He says no, and it's because he got in prison, and because he got in prison and Orochi was able to take rise to power, go out there and declare survival because he felt shame. By the time he got out of that prison that he was in, he saw how much Wano had changed. He saw that Oden was dead, and it was one of those things where he thought about killing himself, and instead he chose to hide behind the mask. And he says that he's pretty sure that Oden's vassals actually know the truth, but he can't stand in front of his grandson right now. And you can see that that's more that samurai code of like trying to suffer in silence because of the pride. And I mean, I can respect that right there. But Nico Robin doesn't miss any words. She's basically like, look, that's kind of sad, everything you're saying, but I know somewhere in this country, the Pluton is actually here. And she says that the poneglyph in Alabasta said that the Pluton was here. And we get the bombshell. Wano actually has a Pluton. So that ancient weapon, it actually exists, and we got confirmation from somebody that knows that it's there. Meanwhile, we find out that the new admiral that had been making his way through the skies, he's finally landed, and he's taking out King and Queen, and he's looking over at Luffy's bounty poster, and he's basically like, look, I don't care about Akainu saying like, hey, don't engage anybody. He'll thank me once I bring him Luffy's head. And he orders a battleship. So it's one of those things where if he's ordering a battleship to be brought to him, is he going to try and just blow up everything in the process. I'm very curious to see what his movements are here. It looks like Luffy has a new admiral that's coming right after him. Meanwhile, you got Momo looking on as Luffy's up there and is giving a speech, getting drunk off of his ass, and you got Momo looking up smiling as the celebration's going on. You've got Kid who just jumps forward, and Kid wants all the smoke at Luffy. Luffy grabs him, and Luffy thinks the dude just wants to celebrate. But then again, just knowing Luffy's probably taking the time right now to actually troll Kid. But essentially, Luffy says like, hey, we're gonna toast this party. We didn't gotta fight here. Everyone's just having a really good time right now. Let's just enjoy these drinks. Let's enjoy this food. Let's have a good time. You see all the Straw Hats down below. They're celebrating in the process. You see how Tama has one of the biggest smiles on her face in the process. And that's when Kid just smacks away his arm and he says like, look, I don't care about anything like that. You need to look at this. I came here to take you down because I don't know why they're doing it, but they're calling you one of the 4 emperors of the sea right now. And as they're celebrating, that's when we see that new admiral making his way towards the celebration grounds, basically saying that the world is one unholy mess right now. So I think the thing that we're probably going to start seeing here is we might see some of the fallout and some of the backlash that came from Kaido and Big Mom actually falling, because them being taken out might mean that their territory is up for grabs. So I really want to see if there was anything possible that Buggy could have done to warrant him actually being one of the 4 emperors, because this is one of the biggest glow-ups that we have for a character in One Piece. When Buggy got introduced, I didn't take him seriously. But to see him right now rise up to the status of being one of the 4 emperors, that's a hell of a glow up. And that's actually going to be my chapter question, you guys. If you guys had to pick a 4 emperors of the sea, obviously Luffy would be there. So who would you actually keep in that 4th place? Would you put someone like Kid there? Would you put somebody like Law there? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.